Our New York Times bestselling children's book series, Ordinary People Change the World, is marking its 10th anniversary this year. Written by Brad Meltzer and illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos, the series has given kids the stories of groundbreaking people like Jackie Robinson, Albert Einstein, Marie Curie, and Rosa Parks. And now, the 32nd installment of the series, detailing the life of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, will be out in bookstores tomorrow. And joining us now, the book's author, Brad Meltzer, as well as the granddaughter of the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Clara Spera. It's good to have you both with us. Brad, these are so great. Where do you begin, though, on teaching children about the legacy of RBG?
You know, I always start with when they're kids themselves. That's what kids are interested in. They don't care about a Supreme Court justice. What they care about is the details when they're young. So we think of Ruth Bader Ginsburg as this serious justice, but when she's a little girl, she just wants to, go on adventures and climb trees. But back then, girls weren't supposed to do that. And it's her mother who breaks that stereotype, takes her when she's a little girl to the library, and every Friday afternoon says you could pick out 5 books. And the books she likes best are about real heroes, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman. And in those lessons, she gets the greatest lesson she's going to get, which is there's absolutely nothing that a little girl can't do. And I want my daughter to have that lesson. I want my sons to have that lesson. And as a book, that's what I Am Ruth Bader Ginsburg is all about.
So, Clara, tell us what it's like to see your grandmother's story brought to life like this, and what you also hope that readers of any age will take from it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I mean, we're so used to the image of my grandmother as older, wiser, when she was on the court. And so seeing her as a child and in a way that can really speak to other children and families, to me, makes me really excited that she can continue to serve as a source of inspiration for the next generations and not just those who, knew her when she was alive.
I'm so inspired by the fact that I have a lot of friends who have children who are 4, 5, 6 years old who are very familiar with your grandmother, which is not always common for a Supreme Court justice to be known that well. And obviously, I think this book is going to help continue that legacy. How do you plan to continue to really make sure that generations going forward are familiar with your grandmother's legacy and are inspired by it? I think it's just she's such an incredible role model, and it's great to see young people so excited about her.
It is really exciting, and every Halloween I get images of Ruth Bader Ginsburg in their costumes. But on a personal level, the way that I'm trying to honor her legacy is through my work. I'm an attorney and I teach law, and that's really what I'm focused on. And there's so much out there, including this wonderful book by Brad, that is helping other people get to know her and get to know her through different ways.
Brad, I'm impressed with the list of people that you've done, the series has done. How do you determine Ruth Bader Ginsburg? How do you determine?
Yeah, no, Chris Eliopoulos, our amazing artist and our editor, we sit down and we really look and say, what's the world need right now? The best heroes are not the ones that you want, it's the ones you need. And in this case, if you look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg and you just think about her, she is someone, we were looking around and saying, how do you deal with injustice in the world? And when she's a little girl, her mother used to take her on a birthday, instead of throwing birthday parties, would take her to a local Jewish orphanage, and they would give out ice cream to the orphans. That's how her mother taught her to deal with the fractures and the injustice in society. And that's not a lesson she learns in law school. It's a lesson from her mom. You make change. And as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, takes onto the court, and she makes that change in the legal world, but that's all these books are to us. It's a way to make change for my kids, a way to make change with your own kids, teach them how to be better people.
Message for all of us. The book, Ordinary People Change the World, I Am Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is out in bookstores tomorrow. Author Brad Meltzer and the granddaughter of RBG, Clara Spera. Thank you both so much for joining us, to sharing the book with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.